I don't know if Ryoyu cares that much though. I mean, last time around, it was so dominant during the first game, he may literally just not care what they give him. We talked about the puck versus Ember, and we talked about how even it should have been. I think Canis was actually ahead in terms of CS for most of the lane. Then Ryoyu just took over anyway. We'll see if PentAce really do mind having this flexible pickup, and they go for the Leshrac, which you would assume is going to be in the mid lane. Could also be in the off lane if you really want, or even the safe lane, but I highly doubt it. Probably is just going to be a mid lane Lesh, and well, I asked for a longer game, John, but with the Leshrac Enchantress in the game, it's if they get off to the start they want, it's hard to imagine PentAce not just completely taking out every objective and just dominating the map again.
Yeah, it's going to allow that fast start. Like, they lack the Enigma for push, but they compensate with Lush. They are aiming for the same timings here in PentAce. Arkosh, for their part, this does, I think, in the end, force the puck mid to meet that Leshrac. Void Spirit against Lush is actually one of the lanes where Void Spirit might not do as well. Like, he can block the physical damage, but Leshrac is all magic. So he's just going to win out in trades. He's got range to get that done and has really good wave clear. So should be the puck mid in this case, which means maybe Gremlo Void Spirit or something wonky like Earth Spirit 4, Void Spirit 5, but that is fairly greedy for supports as well. So we'll see. Arkosh thinking hard about their next pick, maybe being caught off guard by Lesh, digging deep into reserve time, so they're not going to have too much time to think about the rest of their picks.
As Arkosh,
Oh.
they go for the OD, which is something we haven't seen for a while now, but that could be an offlane OD or a position 4 OD or another mid pickup if they really want to. I do believe that should be the whole Media Hammer build that we were used to seeing just a couple weeks back. Still can be quite strong. Obviously, the OD did receive a few nerfs, but overall is still a pretty powerful hero. PentAce, do they mind? We'll see. Their fourth pickup now, 1 minute 20 worth of reserve time left. I suppose
I
you do
do
have
have
to
to
be somewhat
say,
careful. Yeah?
yeah, the OD is pretty greedy though, right? Like OD, Void Spirit, Puck, Earth Spirit. Like there's a
It's a
lot of
lot.
EXP that has come out. There's some initial farm the OD, Puck, and Void Spirit have to meet. We're talking about Yules for the Void Spirit, maybe Travels, maybe Blink, maybe Yules for the Puck. The OD needs to Meteor Hammer. So they have to build into that point where all of these heroes are threats, and one of them's got to give. So we'll have to see what Arkosh does close out with. None of them looking like solid fives to fall back to as well. So it looks like we
No.
might have our Tricore, maybe an OD safe, Puck mid, Void Spirit off is the way you go there. And then you pick a hard 5, but it's still really hard to spread that gold around. PentAce, they're also digging deep into reserve time, but they've got a little bit more to play with. They go with Beastmaster, so even more push on hand, even more domineering lanes. Not as much in terms of item timings, like Necronomicon, more than likely what we're seeing here for the Beastmaster. But the buildup is fairly steady enough for the Beastmaster that shouldn't be an issue. Unlike for Arkosh, where, again, they have to somehow find farm on their tree cores really quick and on that Earth Spirit to have some impact. So we'll see how they hold those lanes steady, but already PentAce are looking good with their draft. They've got control, they've got push, they have early aggression, and they can pile on as they did in game 1.
I think Arkosh need to ban Lycan. Like, yeah, you have the OD, yeah, you have the puck. Like, you have the counters towards Lycan right now. I would not really recommend leaving it, though, just in case. You've already got Lesh Beastmaster. You don't want to have another pushing hero in the safe lane if you can avoid it for Arkosh. They won't have enough wave clear for it. And even if
Yeah,
they can hold him down, it's well, there you go. They ban out the Lycan. Fair enough. So we're not gonna have that issue. PentAce, go for the jug.
yeah.
All right.
Why not? It ruins everything that Arkosh has. You just spin away from literally every piece of control, and you're set. Arkosh, they do close out with a Terror Blade. It's greedy. It is very greedy coming out from Arkosh here.
Yep.
They are running the pause 5 puck, so we have seen that. Not as strange, but this is still a lot of farm they've got to find. They need to counteract the aggression PentAce will want to pull off here. And the Terrorblade into Lesh, and you already have decent illusion clear. You've already got good magic damage to deal onto the TB. So it's going to be a bit hard here for Pale Horse to hold the front line. I'm curious to see how Arkosh execute that lineup. PentAce, I think I'm just going to flat out say it. They've got way better of draft here. A lot of push potential, a lot of damage coming out early on. And if they get that same start as they did in game 1, they should be able to run down Arkosh once more.
I would agree with you, John. I mean, I can see why they go for the Terrorblade, but into the Leshrac, it is going to be a pretty tough Terrorblade game. And, of course, the Lesh can just run you down once you get through the mid-game. We'll see if Arkosh can buy the space of Pale Horse this time around. I think we both just agree on the sentiment that it does look a bit too greedy with this draft. You never know, Arkosh, they've made some weird drafts work. This could be another one of those weird drafts. And it is indeed a position 5 puck, by the way, if I'm not incorrect in saying so. So let's see how this one pans out. But it does seem like PentAce is going to have a pretty good game.
Yeah, that it does. They've got pretty much a similar draft, similar timings to game 1. Arkosh, they've still got challenges with this draft. I think they're going to be looking at Canis Vulpus to have a better time down mid with something like the Void Spirit. So we'll see if he can get that good start as we go into game number 2. Early clump up here from, apparently, Mike, just while I have the time, it's apparently PentAce, not PentAce. So it's a double A with the capitalization, apparently.
Okay. I mean, I said that earlier, and then I had to correct myself because I thought, well, they haven't got the double A's, but alright, PentAce it is. PentAce are going to move into the Dire Jungle very early on, of course. You've got the Tusk. You'd love to just find a hero and get a first blood. Nobody from Arkosh is going to be around. They're doing a similar thing down towards the bot bounty runes. Looks like neither team's going to really find anybody.
Yeah, no, just avoiding for now. I think that does favor Arkosh a bit more. They do have some really good aggression level 1, but it also puts them at an awkward spot. Just if they do get caught out and lose a big hero, there's some vision advantage here as well that you have to be wary about. From the side of PentAce, Snaking can just get out the Boars to scout out and get out the Hawks to scout out any movement. So probably for the best here that Arkosh does kind of just survive, as they are just going to go for a straightforward bounty trade, 2 for 2. Not much excitement here. The lanes will split up, and we will have a look at that, as we should see up top, Goat is going to be sticking around the pos 5 puck, as you mentioned. He does have a Pale Horse around on the Terrorblade, so they will try to buy time for the Terrorblade to get some farm. And as long as Metamorphosis is up for Pale Horse, he should be able to find that farm. However, there is a really good forward ward now from the side of PentAce, so they should be aware of any pulls coming out from Goat perhaps, and they can abuse that. You do have Z-Freak once again on his Tusk and Snaking on the Beastmaster. So another lane that's not going to be as easy as it wants to be here for Arkosh. You have to deal with the Boar spam, and down the line you'll have to deal with Wild Axes as well.
Well, I suppose this is one of the reasons why they chose the Terrorblade in the first place, is because of the high base armor he does have. And the meta, for that matter. You can kind of deal with the Boars here from Snaking. You are still going to be in quite a bit of danger, though, if you do get caught out with the tag team. That high armor, while it is going to help you, it's probably not going to help as much as you would hope. Still, while we have a chance, we'll have a look at the other lanes. Of course, Ryoya and Canis Vulpus going to be in the mid lane. Saw Canis Vulpus starting off with 2 shared tangos, but he also bought his own set of tangos because he's already predicting he needs the added regen, which I would agree with up against the Leshrac. Just wants to be able to sustain himself and make sure that Ryoya, excuse me, can't out-level him in the lane. For now, of course, at level 1, not too much going on, but Ryoya does go for the level 1 Diabolic Edict. You've got to be a bit careful here for your Canis not to be caught alone.
Yeah, he is doing a good job trying to harass out Ryoya, though. Is getting a little bit more farm as well to start off, 10-1, compared to our Leshrac at 5-1. So without the Lightning Storm, it is sort of harder to clear out these waves, and it does give Canis Vulpus a little bit more time to try and build up that lead. We'll see if it does hold. Power Rune is going to be important for both sides, and the supports will have to make that move. And looking at those supports down bot, you do have Crow on that Earth Spirit, and he is laning with Gremlo on the OD, so there is some aggression that can come out here. Now, Fear is still in that jug. He's got Moo and the Enchantress to help him out. And for the most part, Fear is still finding farm, so Gremlo's aggression out with the OD, not quite there. Opting for the Arcane Orb to get some hits off. That does mean that you're not getting the insanity with Astral Imprisonment spam, but it was retouched. The values were retouched, so the Jug should have a decent time, especially since as long as he has Blade Fear, you shouldn't die here.
Grimlow just going to be trying to rush that Meteor Hammer ASAP. That way he can actually start just trying to tempo set across the map and not getting aggressive on this OD, but up until that Meteor Hammer, you're just going to see him chilling out for a while, just keeping that farm up. Top lane snaking, going to go for the pull on the creep wave. Goat. Was thinking about following him down, but it looks like he's just going to focus on Z-Freak on this Tusk. Pretty hard to trade with the Tusk in all fairness. This Goat is going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's not the greatest time for the puck. Goat is just constantly zoned out, so he's trying to give as much as possible towards Pale Horse. And to be fair to Arkosh, Pale Horse is finding a lot more initial farm. They're playing around those initial metamorphoses quite well. He's getting a good amount of farm, good amount of harassment onto snaking. And Z-Freak, for the most part, is just focused on ensuring that Goat is not able to do as much to make moves onto snaking. So there's some space to go out onto those power runes as well, and Z-Freak's already zoning Goat out quite nicely.
That he is. Of course, bot lane, they almost ended up getting the OD, but a nice kick away from Crow meant they couldn't quite finish off the job. And in that mid lane, you already talked about it. The power rune does end up spawning up top. Ryoya gets a double damage. With the double damage, it basically guarantees you a win in the mid lane. It's very hard to consider it a loss after getting a DD rune. At least Canis Vulpes is already so far ahead, though, in terms of CS, so it may not matter. It's more about catching up now for Ryoya.
Just focus on that farm, hit your level 6, get your spells up max, and then focus on shoving the wave in. You are maxing out Diabolic Edict. You want that mid-tier 1 tower to go away as fast as possible. And the key here for Arkosh is to prevent that from happening. So Goat comes in with a bottle refill. Canis Vulpes going to hold the lane steady. And as long as it doesn't shove too far in, you can't maximize the Edict to push.
Goat's going to start rotating through the Radiant jungle. Looks like he might go for some early warding and does. Just wants to keep tabs on any stacks going on and make sure this Leshrac doesn't get to freely take those stacks later on. Does also get the nice bounty rune in that triangle. See Z-Freak rotate in and realize that the puck was probably around. He might even be able to guess that the ward was placed. While that's happening though, mid lane, Canis. Not level 6 yet. Ryoya is. He's going to start the push on that tier 1 tower. Z-Freak also going to rotate in on the Tusk with a nice shard down onto Canis, but it doesn't quite lock him in. Still Ryoya. Going to be able to get a fair bit of damage. He's got Edict off cooldown again. That tower's gone.
Yeah, and they needed to stop this early push. Losing the mid-tier 1 opens up a lot of avenues here for PentAce. Ryoya now, I mean, not hitting level 6 is hard. You just can't do as much on the Void Spirit. He's going to have to find another lane to soak, maybe start clearing out some caps. But the aggression here might be punished. Z-Freak is for it, but no one else to follow up means he walks away for free. Drops a ward as well. Arkosh, I mean, that's Arkosh's ward, so at least they've got vision around where that tier 1 used to be. But PentAce, feeling strong, are going to set their eyes maybe up top, and the magic damage on the Leshrac is enough to melt something like the TB down.
Not while I'm around.
Snaking. Goat. He's going to be careful. It's a lot of damage out on this puck. Gonna get away just barely, but Ryoya from the backside gonna spot him out on the puck and is just gonna chase him down now with the enchant out from Mu. You do see Canis does rotate on the Void Spirit, but I don't think he wants to actually be here anymore. There's really not much they can do to kill anyone.
No. They've got level 6 in Canis at the least, so maybe they get to jump in and try to get the Remnant.
They're going to rotate more in. They're going to try after snaking with 2 more rotations, and maybe they'll get it, but no, the Roar comes out. They're going to lose the Void Spirit. Goat and Crow unable to do anything with this puck Earth Spirit for now, and Goat, he's going to burn out. Ryoya with a double. They're just going to go straight back to that tier 1 top tower. The only man left is Crow, and as an Earth Spirit, he really can't do much. He probably shouldn't show himself to the side of PentAce right now.
No, they're just going to accept that this tower is falling. They are grouped out down bot here on Arkosh's end. Pale Horse still has mated for a bit. They've got the siege creep. They're going to try to get that tier 1 trade bot, but you're already up 2 towers here on the side of PentAce. You've got mid, you've got top, and they've got Fear just farming up. He's trying to hit that same timing with the Javelin into Maelstrom. It looks like it's a bit slower this time, so a bit more effectiveness coming out from Gremlo, but Fear is still number 2 in that for it, so even if you slowed him down a bit, he's still up there compared to everyone else, and PentAce does hold a 2k lead here at the 8-minute mark.
Silence out from Goat, trying to slow down Ryoya. They do catch him out with the Aether Remnant. Ryoya still surviving with the Diabolic Edict and Pulse Nova doing so much damage, and now the Snowball gonna save the life of Ryoya as they found Goat on the puck, and now the Omni as well. Straight onto Kane as Fulpers. Fear to slash him down. At 5-0 so far, 2k net worth lead to PentAce, and the way they're controlling this map already, it reminds me of the first game we saw, John. It's not looking great for Arkosh.
No, it's just piling up here for PentAce. They will at least find a spot tier 1, and there's not much Moo can really do, but they could try to deny. Doesn't quite come out. Still, Gremlo looks like he's going to build into the Meteor Hammer timely enough, and maybe they find Moo.
Maybe. He's just juking around the tree line. They will eventually get him. Roll, perfectly timed, and Moo is just going to die. Nice little pick up there from Arkosh, and their first kill of the game. And the game plan here for Arkosh is going to be very simple, and that's just buy as much time for Pale Horse as possible. Of course, getting this Meteor Hammer on Gremlo is certainly going to help, because you can start really split pushing these lanes out as the OD. And of course, you have a lot more kill threat on the OD with that Meteor Hammer. But he needs to have it up first. Looks like he should have it up pretty darn soon.
Yeah, he's just about, I'd say, 200 gold away from finishing it up in terms of gold. So they do smoke up. They want to play around with the fact that they've got Max Astral and Santis ready to go. They are a bit under-leveled in the support, so Goat is still level 3, Crow is level 4, and their smoke just breaks from Z-Freak.
Yeah, Astral is there. Z-Freak probably just gonna... Oh, the roll misses and the Z-Freak, the snowball. The animation just not really working properly. Ryoya, Pulse Nova onto Goat, and the damage output is just insane, but he does get Astral. Shards out now, Gremlo gonna avoid those. Pale Horse was around with the meta up. Jump back in now, but Aether Remnant doesn't land onto Z-Freak. He has another snowball, but it looks like he should just be dead, and he will be. Gremlo does get the kill.
Yeah,
definitely good news.
An important kill for Gremlo. That does help him finish up that Meteor Hammer, so he does have the gold. He just needs to ferry out the Room of Regen, and once you have that Meteor, more presence out from the OD. For the most part here, PentAce is just focusing on farm. Snaking has not played around his Primal Roar since the Roar up top. He just wants to finish up his items first. Very close to Necronomicon 3. And once you've got that, towers will melt a lot faster. They're also buying space out for Fear. He has his Javelin up. He is saving up for that Maelstrom. And that should be up in a fairly similar time as Game 1 as well. So despite these couple of wins for Arkosh, there are still some things they need to correct. Pale Horse just saving up for the Yasha into the Manta style. That's going to help him avoid some of that magic damage coming through, but it's still a lot of AoE here on the side of PentAce. He's probably going to need an early BKB if he wants to fight with his team here.
Yeah, he definitely will.
Dire should look to their bottom tower.
Still, 11.5 minutes in, things are going slightly better here for Arkosh. Definitely not quite as bad as last game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
PentAce, smoked up again, going to start moving towards the bot lane. They may just run into Crow. In fact, no, they're going to loop back around into the triangle. Get some deep wards out there with Z-Freak. Pale Horse, he does not want to die here. He has no idea that they're coming in, and Ryoya now just going to run in for the easiest kill of his life. There will be no help to come. Fear will take the kill on the junk. that'll slow down the TB a little bit. However, up at the top lane, Snaking does die. Ryoya still going to go for a chase on to go, but the Dream Coil is going to be expended defensively. They do at least get a 1-for-1 trade, even if they are losing their position 1.
Yeah, it's a pretty worthwhile pickup for Arkosh. I mean, any kill counts now for Arkosh, even if you trade a TB away in a different part of the map. Does give an opportunity here for PentAce to group up for the push. They've still got Roar. They know Dream Coil's down. They know that Pale Horse will not want to join these fights yet, so they can just throw their bodies out front. They've got Omni Slash and Fear with Maelstrom up. The damage is going to kick into gear now, and the objectives are going to be up next if they can find a space. But it looks like they're going to take their time. Snaking is still walking his way up. Does have Necronomicon tree as well. So the towers will melt if you do give them access to these objectives.
We're trying to hold that top tier 2 tower for now. Gremlo just going to hide in the tree line and wait this one out. In fact, he does TB and they just leave it. No point even trying right now to defend. They understand they can't really commit to a 5v5 yet. Instead, Pale Horse, he'll be down at the bot lane, just taking the safer farm. They'll also go after that mid-tier 1 tower. Cliff is going to be there through the Meteor Hammer. And quite frankly, they should still have time to defend this mid-tier 1 if they really wanted to. Instead, it looks like they're going to let it go down, but they've smoked up and they're going to take a big team fight now. PentAce would love to get Canis Vulpus, however the smoke does break and they astral step away. Still, Necro units are chasing Gremlo. Pale Horse also being spotted by Ryoya. He's going to turn right back around. Sanity's going to be dropped by Gremlo, but it doesn't do too much. Meanwhile, Crow still dying to Ryoya and does go. Pale Horse looks like he got away from Fear, who did commit the Omni. He is going to be alright. Canis is still trying to split push the mid lane, but Z-Freak is chasing him down. Walrus Punch will be there. Z-Freak has no help. Well, now he does. Moo is going to come in. Astral Step going to be expended, and that'll be enough. Onto the Invis Rune they go, but Z-Freak's going to beat him to it.
Yeah, I mean, they're finding some wins here in Arkosh's end. The lead is building up, though. PentAce now 6k up, and the only silver lining really is that Pale Horse gets away for free. Omni Slash, unfortunately, bouncing onto the illusions. That's a bit of good news there for Arkosh. They still need these items to fly in. And for the side of PentAce, well, they still have Roar up. Snaking actually didn't expend it. And they can just set their eyes for maybe one of the tier 2s now, although you will need to wait a bit for that Omni on the jug.
I love the fact that Enchantress can take TB illusions. Always makes me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, you get the bonus damage as well with those TB illusions. So that illusion's hitting for 200 damage. It's a lot of damage if you take an illusion away. Still, Arkosh. Lips is there. Meteor Hammer to set up. They do catch out Z-Freak. Another nice pick-off here for Arkosh. And I suppose that's what they just have to keep doing. Just find any pick-off you can get and keep delaying out the game.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of that at least. The objectives have stalled out, although the top tier 2 did melt. Snaking's just focusing in on that split push with Necronomicon level 3, and he can get the shove in down bot. There is Pale Horse around to try and stop it, but he has no metal, though mid.
Enchantress is slowly but surely going to die. That'll be Moo going down now. Arkosh are doing a pretty good job. I mean, they're getting the supports. Obviously, they'd prefer to get a core if they could, but all the cores are currently missing off the map, apart from Snaking, but he's in the tree line. Split pushing the bot lane, and well, Arkosh, they are going to come down to that bot lane and address that push. In fact, they'll go for a smoke now. Snaking would be a very nice pick-off, but the Hawk is going to scout them out. Canis does jump in. Snaking looking for a roar, won't be able to get it. Meteor Hammer is there in the Aether. It's going to cancel off the stun that was there from Ryoya. And they will find both of them. That was a very nice Aether Remnant, John, from Canis Vulpus.
That is the best set of kills that Arkosh have found. They've managed to swing about 2k gold their way this time around. So they're evening out the kill board. They're finding some big kills that they need. And PentAce is just a bit reckless, although...
Goodness me, Z-Freak just gives him a punch with the tag team, and that's all it took. Still, with those kills down a bot, Gremlo, he can start really pressuring this bottom tier 2 tower. Unfortunately, he does not have Meteor Hammer off cooldown, but it'll be there soon. They can at least get one charge off before they have to leave. Or maybe they won't even risk it. Looks like Gremlo is a little bit afraid to try.
Yeah, I mean, this is fairly far forward, although up top.
Now, they can't reach for the enchant yet. Shards is not going to reach either. Just taps the backside of Canis.
For Dire's middle tower, Radiant's bottom
The bot lane is still being pushed in, but Gremlo has not gone for that Meteor Hammer yet. Oh no, he has. Must have been glyphed up.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Pale Horse, he just pops the meta instead. But while they're doing that, the Roshan's happening.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a quick rush here for PentAce. Arkosh not really able to do anything. They don't have vision control in the area. So they're just going to have to settle with this tier 2. Rosh going to go out to Ryoya with the Aegis. So that means 2 lives on Lesh. Going to be very hard to deal with all of the damage coming through the Lesh track now. And that does allow Ryoya a bit of a reset mid-fight if he does run out of mana. So options abound here for PentAce. They're going to look for that mid-tier 2 next. And Arkosh probably not keen on defending up against Aegis here.
Yeah, apologies about the background sound, by the way. I got someone mowing the lawn right now, so it's rather close. But hopefully it does disappear pretty darn soon as Go getting caught out mid lane. It's going to die. Straight into that mid-tier 2 tower they go. The Diabolic Edict. It's going to be very, very short work here. They do pop the glyph. Because the bot lane is being pressured by Arkosh. They're kind of... It's one of their specialties to do this. Just keep split pushing the lanes out. They're going to try and force back the side of Penta.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They're not backing off. They're still going. Top tier 3.
They don't care. They know they melt these towers a lot faster. The push of Arkosh is tied into Metamorphosis as well, so there's only so much push they can get done, whereas this is just constant. Look at these objectives melt. There's just no defense.
No, there is not. They did back off. They stopped the split push down to that bot lane. That's one rack's gone. PentAce not going to risk anymore. They'll back off the safety for now. Can easily just come back and try to force in that mid tower instead. And of course, you do still have the bottom tier 2 to go back to, but Crow rolls right in. The unit's going to do a fair bit of damage. Meanwhile, Go trying to find a Dream Coil, but Gremlo will be the one to get the Astral into the Meteor Hammer onto Z-Freak, and they roll right in with the Sanity's drop, but Z-Freak is not dying yet. He will eventually go down. But my god, it takes so much commitment just to kill the position 4 Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, you have to drop the Sanities. That's a very long cooldown to commit. At least you find a kill, 10 to 8. Still an 8k lead up for PentAce. So they're probably not too unhappy considering what that did cost. They were also playing a man down as Ryoya did TP down bot to de-shove that wave. So they could look to reset here. They've still got the Aegis running for about 2.5 minutes. A lot of opportunities to go outside, find that last outer tower, maybe pressure that mid-tier 3 if they wanted to, and build off from that. Still, Arkosh are starting to build up a bit. We're seeing Pale Horse keep up in farm in comparison to Fear. So he does have his SNY on that TD, going for the Butterfly next. Just going all in and being a heavy damage dealer. And Fear did go back for a Manta style, so there's no MKB rush here, which means the Butterfly should give a lot of value to Pale Horse as long as he ignores the magic damage coming through from everyone else.
Absolutely, but Gremlo, he's been caught. Astral will be there, but that's only going to delay the inevitable. He has no way out of this scenario. On the brighter side, while that was happening, Canis Volpus picks up his Aghanim Scepter now in the Void Spirit, so you do have that silence coming out. Which is probably why Fear felt the need to just go for the Manta style. Because you are going to have 2 charges of that Resonant Pulse, so you can always just get him on the second one.
It's difficult. I mean, at least you've got these spikes like at Ags, but They need to find the angles. Their high ground's going to be pressured. Again, they still hold on to the Aegis for about a minute 15. Ryoya can just Boots of Travels in to join that shove in. Although, for the most part, it's looking quite nice. This is at least better for Arkosh compared to game 1, right? Like, they're holding on. It's at 22 minutes. So they are finding better trades. They just need to find some farm and try to spread that out among all their heroes now.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Terrorblade is going to scale very, very well in this game if they can get to the late game. Have found Mu on the Enchantress now. He is not dead yet, though. He's walking away, but Canis does finish him off. The Sanities was also dropped. Now the roar out on Pale Horse with all those units. He is dying to nothing but units from the Beastmaster, and he is eventually just going to die. Goat trying to orb his way out, but he will also die to fear. Canis dissimulate there. Doesn't have another step for a second. He's going to get snowballed, but the roll in from Crow to help out with the Magnetize. Is it going to be enough? Omni is committed by fear. He's not playing any games, and Canis Vulpus almost dies to that. Barely getting away. And PentAce, are they going to commit for the high ground with 3? No. The Aegis does expire as well, so they're not going to waste their time. Straight back to farming for them.
And they're chasing Canis Vulpus, though. Doesn't have steps again.
Where are you going?
Chan is there. Gonna juke out the impetus shot. They have not found him yet, but now they know where he is thanks to that Aether Remnant. He has another Dissimulate. Astral Step charges in 1 second, and yeah, Step and TP. So that's a lot of space out from Canis Vulpus. And he trash talks him immediately. Very nice.
Oh, yes. Really good plays coming out to buy some time. It's still a dicey situation for Arkosh. 13 to 10. 9k lead up for the side of PentAce and Goat.
Be gone.
Gone.
Mid lane, Raw is out. They've caught Gremlo on the Odin. He's gone as well. Crow tried to roll in to help out, but there's nothing he can do. Fear. One trick ponies. Give it back to him, Fear. Don't let them scare you, as they do find Canis as well. That should be high
boy.
ground.
Yeah, that it should be. There's not much Terrorblade can do. Look, Goat. At least they're in a good mood. They're holding. Here.
Get him,
Here.
Fear.
They're already dead. Oh, come on,
Canis
Canis.
Vulpus. Calm down, sir. That's a little bit too far, isn't it? My goodness.
That is a bit far. But it's alright. These are demons, Mike. They have no morals at all.
No,
and
they
they're
do
losing
not.
their high ground.
They are. No morals, no high ground. Astral is there with the Meteor Hammer in. Z-Freak is going to get the snowball off again into the tusk. Crow is going to be able to roll away. Canis now going to jump in with the silence straight onto the Leshrac, trying to burst him down, but he got the Yules off in time. With the Bloodstone active, he's going to be just fine, as Crow will be the one to drop a Pale Horse. Actually fighting back now. Sanities literally did no damage, but it won't matter. Turn around with the Roar. But the Astral is going to save the TB. Still Fear has the Omni, but he gets taken out. He got hit by the Meteor Hammer. They still found Crow as well. And Gremlo is going to try and run, but Ryoya is going to patiently wait for the OD. That'll be Gremlo gone. And Pale Horse just calls it. He has had enough of this game. And while it was definitely a closer game, still a very dominant victory here from PentAce.
Yeah, they find their angles. They run fairly similar timings to game 1. Arkosh, unfortunately, not able to fix the issues from game 1. This draft was very different. And, you know, they fall back to that Earth Spirit. But then they have the Pos 5 Puck. Didn't quite work out. It was just a bit too greedy. They already had magic damage on hand as well to deal with Pale Horse. So props to PentAce for just pulling consistent wins here up against Arkosh. And Arkosh, well, looks like we're going to have to look for that win elsewhere as the demons go back to sleep.
So they certainly do, John. Of course, with that, we do move on to our third series of the day. It's going to be between No Ping and Ego Boys. Should be a rather interesting matchup between those two, and it should be roughly 10 to 15 minutes before we do get to that matchup. Of course, before that, John, it is MLP Dota and John X Fire, and we'll see you all again as soon as that first draft is live.